Guys, so firstly, apologies if you can hear a cat meowing in the background. That is Tips, fat cat, our three-legged cat, because he thinks it's his supper time, but it isn't. He's got about half an hour to wait. Anyway, this is a scrapbook process video. This is slightly different because it's not going in my scrapbook album. It is going in a frame for my mum for Mother's Day. So firstly, I got this picture which is of me, my two brothers, Dodger and my mum, which was taken on the day after my mum's birthday this year. So it's a nice recent picture. And I found this quote which I altered slightly. The original quote is "Everything I am, you helped me to be," but because it's a sort of group photo, I've changed it to "Everything we are, you helped us to be." So I just printed that off back to front and traced over it so that I could do this technique, so that it was on the page in a nice scripty font, because I'm not very good at lettering, like brush lettering or script fonts or any of that stuff. So I just used a 2B pencil for that, and I cut most of it out because it did take me a while. So I just trimmed a rough edge off the photo, which for some reason occurred with my paper trimmer, and then chose a paper to mount it on. I don't know why the camera was obviously a bit wonky, and I didn't realise whilst I was filming. I get some foam tape, to make the photo stand out a bit more, trim off a bit of an extra edge, and then stick that down. You can't really see the smaller paper, but it's like pink with brown spots, and it's like slightly distressed. So it's from a pad which I've had lying about for ages, and it is paper rather than like sort of card paper, if that makes sense. You'll know what I mean if you're into scrapbooking. And just going through my scrapbooking scraps tin and pulled out this sort of bluey rose one, which is left over from another page which I did. Then I just mark where I want the photo and use tape to go down there. Double-sided tape. So yeah, I chose a sort of bluey green. Again, you can't really see it on camera. Piece, and it's like rose print, because you know the photo has my brothers in it as well, so I felt like I didn't want it to be too, not girly, but you know, I don't know what I'm saying really, basically. So just using the end of my scissors to make sure all the bits of double-sided tape are stuck down properly. I do that quite a lot. Sorry that my head keeps coming into view, it's just the way I have my camera set up, but I might have a fiddle with the settings again. And just using a roll to push down, especially over the photo, because if there's a lot of dark pigmentation on a photo, it rubs off on my fingers. So yeah, and then I got out a load of stuff from my stash, a lot of stamps, as you can see. I chose to use this Remember This Moment, or I think it's Remember This Moment, and I do some embossing. So this bit I could have edited this out, but I was getting my embossing powders and I decided, or something, what was I doing? I've no idea what I was doing. Oh, I think I was rummaging through my stash some more, So I used copper embossing powder. I thought about using this rose one as well, but I decided not to in the end. And going through some stickers. Apologies also if you can hear my fish tank in the background. I'm doing this voiceover downstairs at my desk. So I pick out a couple of stickers. You can kind of see me fiddling with them on my jeans. I'm just like removing as much of the stick as possible because I'm not 100% sure if I want to use them. So just using the fibres from like my clothing to do that, because I don't have any like sticky powder remover stuff. And then I take this bird branch stamp from a different set of stamps and decide to use that. Just looking at my little tester piece for embossing powders there. So I was either thinking gold or copper. So yeah, getting a bit of scrap paper, moving all the loose pieces off. And I did get some black and spilt all of that embossing powder, which is so annoying, because it goes everywhere. And then I'm not sure if I show me actually embossing it or not. Yes, I do. I love watching embossing powder turn. It is so mesmerising. The only thing is it does warp the page, but as I said, because this is going in a frame, it doesn't matter too much. So then, because I don't have a large stamp block, I makeshift with my two smaller ones to do the bird stamp. And don't know what I'm doing here. Probably having a conversation with someone. Oh no, getting a different piece of scrap paper. One which isn't covered with black embossing powder. And then, yeah, embossing that. That took quite a bit longer, and it also peeled up. It did something to the double-sided tape underneath the paper. So, yes. And then I have fiddle with stickers again, just brushing off any loose powder left. That one I don't use. I can't remember what it said, but it said something. This round black one says happy day, because it was a good day. My mum was completely surprised. It was, I'd arranged an afternoon tea party for her as a surprise. She had no idea. So my brother, his fiance, my other brother's godmother and her husband, and my godmother and her husband, who's also my eldest brother's godfather, and one of my mum's like best friends, I suppose, came over, and I did an afternoon tea. So here I am just testing some different things on the back. As I've said, this is going in a frame, so it doesn't matter. Dodger, stop it! Oi! Sorry about that, a dog was harassing the cat. So I was testing some metallic pens, metallic sharpies and metallic inks. I decided to go with silver, so I get a small brush and start on, for some reason I start down the bottom, no idea why, and I cut most of this out because it did take a while to do. I had over an hour and a half of footage for this video, most of which was writing out the quote and then colouring it in with the silver ink. So yes. I cut it out pretty soon. Or maybe I don't. I know I cut most of it out. I definitely cut most of it out because I only edited this this morning. Before getting in the shower. Not that you needed to know that at all. So it was a bit fiddly in some places where the tracing paper technique hadn't quite worked properly, so it didn't come through, but it worked sufficiently enough that, you know, I could work out where things needed to go. Yeah, there you go. So I did a second coat of silver, and then I got, this is my turquoise drawing ink. So all my drawing inks, excuse me, are Ocaldo, I think. So I got the turquoise one and just coloured over the top of we, you and us. So they stand out a bit more and just to add something else. So this worked really well actually, and it didn't matter too much if I went over the edges of the silver because of the black cardstock it didn't show up. And the effect when it's dry, it's like amazing. So thanks for watching, comment, like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye!